Unseeded this robot, but showing a lot of potential. It's a super heavyweight robot, powered by a 24-volt sealed lead-acid battery, armoured in steel and very resilient to being cut or burnt. It's armed with a colossal flywheel that can reach speeds of over 1200 RPM. The team also say that a huge amount of money's been spent building this robot. Let's see how that helps in the arena then. Definitely in with a chance of surprising everyone, this robot, unseeded today. It's a super heavyweight category robot. A 24-volt sealed lead-acid battery, the power behind this robot. Armoured in heavy steel. It's armed with a pair of menacing pincers. They can get a very firm hold if you get caught in there. Cost an absolute fortune to build this robot. Let's hope it was worth it for them. They better mind the arena wall flamers. They can be very, very dangerous. The arena flipper comes into play when a robot's immobilised. A bit of extra insult to injury to be flipped around the arena. That's the pit. Don't want to be going in there too soon. They've got to look out for the blasts of fire from those flame grills. They can do a surprising amount of damage. You don't want to get too close to the corner patrol zones. Once you're in there, it's more pain than you can handle. 3, 2, 1. Activate. Matilda is hungry. Is she going to get a bite to eat? The battery's no more. Neither of their chances. They're out. The steel armour giving it some protection from the impact. The circular saw grinding through. It's starting to make an impression, but it's going to take more than that to give it any real trouble. My word! There's bits of robot all over the arena! Can't cease! Unseeded in this competition, but could have a few surprises up its sleeve. It's a heavyweight robot. It's a wedge-shaped robot, a very popular shape, allowing them to drive in under other robots. Powered by a 12-volt sealed lead-acid battery, shielded with steel, and very resilient to being cut or burnt. It's armed with a pneumatic drill with a hardened steel drill bit, can drill away at around about 180 RPM, causing internal and external damage. This is one of the most expensive robots we have competing today. Nothing was too good for this team. A serious robot with a silly string gun. Unseeded this time, but no slouch. This robot could do well. It's a middleweight robot. It's a sort of box wedge-shaped robot with all the advantages of a wedge for tipping opponents over. Powered by a 24-volt sealed lead-acid battery, armoured in titanium. No expense spared on this robot. Let's hope the results live up to expectations, or someone's going to want a refund. Three, 2, 1. Activate! Matilda is ready and waiting. Onto the arena flipper they go! Are they ready to fly? The armour holding out well against the charge. The titanium armour not as effective against that impact as they'd like. The drill sliding off the surface as they try to bring it to bear. Things are heating up at the side of the arena there. It likes to thrill and also drill. A warm welcome for Driller Thriller! The crowd getting restless, waiting for them to get going. They can't right themselves here. I'm afraid it's game over. Lunging in with a chainsaw. Matilda invites you into play. Her game's a bit rough for most robots though. Getting a bit too close for comfort to those flame jets. Oh dear, Sergeant Bash comes into play. Just watch that flamethrower. Cease. This robot isn't seeded, but is well fancied in the pits. Could be the dark horse of the tournament. It's a super heavyweight contender. A 24-volt sealed lead-acid battery, the power behind this robot. armoured in aluminium. The team also say that a huge amount of money's been spent building this robot. Let's see how that helps in the arena then. This robot, unseeded, but could do better than everyone expects today. It's a super heavyweight competitor, relying on a 12-volt sealed lead-acid battery for power, armoured in light aluminium. Cost an absolute fortune to build this robot. Let's hope it was worth it for them. Better. 3, 2, 1. Activate. Matilda is hungry. Is she going to get a bite to eat? I think they've lost power from the batteries there. Not too hard to cut into the aluminium, but it's putting up a brave fight. The steel armour giving it some protection from the impact. This is classic Robot Wars. The flipper's broken. Nothing to fear from that anymore. Should take no cease. Not seeded in this competition, but this robot has the capability to cause a few upsets and surprises. It's a middleweight category robot. This wedge shape, very popular among our roboteers, gives them the advantage of being able to get in underneath and tip opponents, of course. Powered by a 12-volt sealed lead-acid battery, armoured in polycarbonate. It's armed with a hardened steel circular saw powered by the petrol motor from a garden strimmer. This is one of the most expensive robots we have competing today. Nothing was too good for this team. Lots of potential in this unseeded robot. Could be one to look out for. It's a middleweight contender. This robot, one of the box wedge designs, a variation on the old favourite, as you can see. Relying on a 12-volt sealed lead-acid battery for power, armoured in light but hard titanium. It's armed with a spike trap to pin and push opponents. No expense spared on this robot. Let's hope the results live up to expectations, or someone's going to want a refund. The flamers on the 3, 2, 1. Activate. Matilda is ready and waiting. Onto the arena flipper they go. Are they ready to fly? The axe has been broken off. No more use out of that then. Grazing and scraping as it hits. It's carnage, devastation. It's Robot Wars! The polycarbonate, not such good defense against cutting attacks. Tough steel armour, making it harder to cut into, of course. The armour holding out well against the charge. Hard to make an impression on the polycarbonate, it's very tough. The titanium standing up well to the punishment. That flipper's ready and waiting for its first victim. Not a lot happening here, the crowd want more action. Nearly onto the flame grill, look out! The steel resisting the blade so far, and it's going to be tough getting through the bulletproof glass on there. Wouldn't like to be cleaning the debris from the arena later on. Slamming in! You can see it starting to make an impression. Just a scratch as the spike slides off again. Another small gouge out of it. Needs to get a bit more weight behind it to do more than scratch though. The crowd getting restless, waiting for them to get going. Barging in to push it around. They can't right themselves. Something's wrong. It looks like they're out of the contest. Bits and pieces everywhere. You could melt them down, I suppose, and make a whole new robot out of them. Trying to cut its way through the polycarbonate. Difficult to puncture the bulletproof glass, though. They'll be wishing the steel was even thicker on there, although it may be enough. Cease!